Hi everyone, my name is Gina and today I'm going to be making a video on my hair journey. So going from dark Asian hair to a blonde balayage to a full bleach out, back to a blonde balayage, and finally growing it out and cutting it into a bob. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is before I went blonde and before I got a bob, I did a lot of research, so I'm hoping that I can help someone with this video. So I'm gonna try and include as many photos as I can just because I personally prefer to show my hairdresser's photos. First, I just want to talk about my hair type. So my hair is naturally very dark, obviously. Like, this is my natural hair color. It's very straight and very smooth. And I've even had a hairdresser tell me not to use conditioner before just because it's so straight and doesn't like to hold a curl or anything like that. My hair also grows super fast and is very heavy. So how to choose the right hairdresser? So for me, I've always gone to Asian hairdressers just because they know what your hair texture is like and how hard it can be to go blonde. I did go to one person who was not Asian and did not specialize in Asian hair, but they did specialize in balayages. And I did like their service, but I always just find myself going back to an Asian hair salon. For my first time going blonde, I went to a couple consultations, so don't be afraid to do that. And the reason why I went with my hairdresser was just because she was so knowledgeable and so confident in how she explained everything to me. So don't be afraid to ask about pricing at different places, just because I know some people have been quoted ridiculous amounts. But so the first time I went blonde was 5 years ago in 2020, and I was able to go blonde in one session, and that session took like at least 6 hours just because my hair is really deceivingly thick and has a lot of layers. And at the time I liked how it turned out, but at the same time, looking back, it definitely got better as I continued to bleach it. Every time I got it bleached, it would cost $400 to $500 after tips. So on my first session, it costed more around the $500 mark. And every time I got it touched up, it would be at least around the $400 mark, depending on who I went to. Like, I went to a number of different hairdressers. I would try and grow out my roots, ideally for 6 months, just because I didn't want to be paying to get my hair done so often. And at the time I didn't really mind, but looking back, like, I hate how my roots look in pictures and stuff, but it is what it is, just because you know, I didn't want to be paying that often. So at the beginning, when I first started getting my hair balayaged, I had a lot of my natural dark hair showing, so the growth wasn't so harsh, so I could get away with going a little bit longer in between sessions. What I always asked for was like an ash beige blonde balayage, and I would mostly just rely on photos rather than trying to describe what I wanted. I'll put some pictures of how it looked during COVID so you could see how it looked with a lot of growth, just because obviously I wasn't getting my hair done during COVID. I'll also say when I first started getting it balayaged, I didn't notice too much breakage, just a little bit. Didn't bother me at all. Again, my hair was really healthy to begin with. Pictures of times I thought my hair looked really good. I also find the look of blonde hair on an Asian person really varies with the lighting. So if the lighting isn't great, sometimes it'll look really orange or yellow and not great, whereas other times it'll look really good. As well, obviously, the shade of blonde that you prefer could really depend on your skin tone. So a full bleach out, like full ash blonde, I liked when I had a lighter complexion, and I did have it when I was super tan, and I thought it looked a little strange for me personally. And then I think that a balayage with a lot of my natural hair showing looked really good when I was tan. So with that being said, I'll also put some pictures of times that I didn't love how my blonde hair looked. And one thing about me that you'll notice is that I really like dramatic hair changes, so I decided to try a full bleach out. And so the aim was to try and go as light as possible for my whole hair. At this time, I was really tanned, and when I first got it done, I thought it looked really strange, but it does fade, and it did grow on me a bit. And then when I finally got this done, I noticed a lot more breakage to the point where I didn't love it. I mean, it was still okay and still not horrible, but the breakage was much more noticeable with the bleach out rather than balayage. I heard from some people that a bleach out is supposedly supposed to be better for your hair. Like, obviously, if you're trying to go super light, it's going to damage it, but I heard it's better just because you're just bleaching the roots rather than with a balayage, you're kind of like re-bleaching everything from root to tip again and again and again. But I don't know. So I kept this for a while, and I went to 2 different salons to do it. And the second time when I did it, it was a little bit patchy, so I'll show you pictures of that. And again, I did notice that it looked different in different lighting. So in some lightings, it would look really yellow, and then in other lighting, it would look pretty ashy, which I liked. Obviously, over time, the toner would fade, so it would become more yellow over time. Overall, I really did end up liking the bleach out, but I just hated how the root growth looked. Like, it was so ugly to me, and looking back at these photos, I kind of cringe at them. Like, the roots are so bad. One day, I decided to kind of ask for them to soften the outgrowth, so they tried to kind of convert the bleach out into a balayage. So they started putting like low lights and baby lights, and I just let them do what they had to do. Turned out like this. And then, to be honest, after getting this done, I got kind of lazy, so I just let my hair grow, and it grew to the point where like half of it was roots and then half of it was blonde. And I don't know, at the time I didn't really care, but like looking back, I hate how it looked. And this year, well, I guess last year, so 2024, I feel like everyone was getting bobs or talking about bobs, or I don't know, I just got into my head that I wanted a bob, and I really was not sure about a bob just because my face shape. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but in real life my face shape is quite round, and I'd say wide, and I do have like a bigger head. So I was worried about how the bob would look and if it would accentuate the roundness or like the wideness of my jaw. But again, the thing about me is that I love a dramatic hair change. So I got bored and I decided to do it. That was literally, I just got bored. So when I first did it, they actually cut it a lot shorter than I had wanted. I kind of wanted like chin length, maybe a little longer, but it was like shorter than my chin. So I guess people would call that a French bob length. The way they styled it, I remember not really loving it, but then once I washed it and then just kind of let it do its own thing, I really started to like it, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever. I honestly think that it does go pretty well with my face shape. I know some people associate kind of short hair with like a mom's haircut, but for me, I thought that the bob really made me look younger. Like, I felt more childish with the bob. I don't know why. The one annoying thing was that I was not able to tie my hair, and I love tying my hair whenever I play sports or go to the gym. So what I ended up having to do was kind of do 2 pigtails in the front just to keep my hair out of my face. And honestly, that was like my favorite hairstyle to do anyways. And with cutting the bob, I was able to cut most of my blonde bits out on the first go. I kind of liked how it looked actually, so I was able to cut most of the blonde off, but I still had blonde like here, and I actually really liked how it looked in photos, kind of like a ombre moment. But then I got it cut again, and that's where we are today, and there's still a bit of blonde at the end, but for the most part it's my natural hair color now. First, I didn't know how I felt. Like, I didn't love it because it just felt very dark and one-dimensional, and I thought the darkness wasn't great with my features. Like, I was just used to seeing lighter hair on me for so long, I guess. But now I'm really liking it. Yeah, I think in the future I'm gonna try and grow my hair. I'm really debating between keeping it short and cutting it into layers, or growing it out and growing it long again, like back to the beginning. So let me know what you think I should do, but I'm kind of leaning to growing it out, but I also think it would be so good for the summer, but then I also can't tie my hair in the summer. But yeah, I'll put some inspo pictures of what I would want next if I were to keep it short. Final thoughts. I know that a big thing with Asian girls is that they've put so much money into their hair that they just want to keep getting it blonde and keep getting it done. And that's definitely what I thought, and that's definitely how I felt. But honestly, I really like going back to my natural hair. I spend way less money on products and it's way less maintenance, and I do not spend $500 every 6 months anymore. So yeah, don't be afraid to consider going back to your roots. Sunk cost fallacy or whatever. It's fun to experiment. I feel like I definitely will go back to blonde at some point, but right now I'm really enjoying my hair like this. I will also say that I feel like I potentially get different treatment from this haircut and this hair color versus my other haircut and hair color, but I feel like that's a topic for another day. Considering getting a bob, I would say just do it. Like, hair grows back. When your hair is short, it feels like it grows a lot faster. Looks like it grows a lot faster. It's more noticeable. So if you're considering it, just do it. If I've missed anything or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.